Hey guys, I got sent a portion of this podcast that Mike and Gabby did with Elliott and his coach Adam, and they were talking about his future development, future in the sport, especially as he's getting out of the sub juniors into the juniors and going from high school into kind of work life, collegiate life, anything like that, and how things might be different for him now. I am a former collegiate lifter myself, in both undergraduate and graduate school, and I'm the head coach for the University of Wisconsin-Madison, so I work with a lot of collegiate lifters and kind of get to see how they navigate all the different obstacles as things change and as they age. So I thought it might be cool to kind of compare and contrast how he's going about it compared to how I see a lot of lifters go through it. So let's go ahead and get started here.
You just turned 18, you're going to be in a different developmental phase as you get older. Do you already have in mind like what you're going to do after high school? Like you want to study or work, and did you already think of like how your routine and recovery needs are going to require balance with that sort of education, work, or other hobbies?
I have a whole plan put out. So I'm in a gap year right now. I've been trying to do some physical therapy shadowing along with just making some money.
As a fellow physical therapist, I highly recommend it. It is a lot of work. So he's in for probably like 4 years of undergraduate study, followed by 3 years of graduate school to get a doctorate in physical therapy. But if he's got a whole plan thought out, I mean, that's awesome already.
My plan after this, after I get some physical therapy shadowing and some volunteer hours and things like that, is to go to community college, do my undergrad, and then eventually, hopefully, it's a feeder program. It goes from my community college into Rowan, which is really nice. So I get to finish that and then hopefully attend a physical therapy program, get a doctorate for that. The ideal college to go to, I think, or uni to go to would be Arcadia.
Yeah, I mean, this is all really well thought out. Like going to a community college is a great way to save a lot of money, especially if it's a feeder program. It improves the odds of you getting into a physical therapy program, which is great. And it sounds like he's already thought out like which specific university he wants to go to as well. And it for PT school in particular, it doesn't tend to matter so much, like the prestige of the university that you went to. The degree is basically interpreted the same everywhere, and you still have to pass a national licensing exam. So I think he's set up really smartly here.
Not super close, but close enough that I could still commute from my parents' house, which is super nice for me because, I mean, for them, as long as I'm actually like taking steps to forward myself in life, and like I'm not just sitting on my butt doing nothing, as long as I'm actually like doing this stuff with physical therapy and doing stuff for school and doing well in school, they're happy to support me any way they can, which is super nice and it's super comforting to know that because not everyone has that. I would like to keep my stay here, because it's food, shelter, and a bunch of other stuff that is taken care of, and it's also cheaper than living on campus in general. I would like to just make a commute from here to there. So that's my plan, is I want to get a physical therapy and then use that for my powerlifting coaching maybe, also open my own clinic.
I think he's got a really smart plan here as well. Like it's very easy for costs of living on campus to spiral quickly. And if you've got the option to just commute to school and have things be cheaper, more convenient that way, I mean, that's a really good option, honestly. And so once again, I think that his plan here is really thought out well. And I like that he's bringing like physical therapy into powerlifting coaching. I think we need more of that, honestly. There are some physical therapists who have more like outdated ideas. I'm sure that we've all run into them or seen them on different like YouTube channels promoting kind of like outdated ideas of, oh, you can't let your knees go in front of your toes. Your knees are going to explode. You can't let your back round at all. Your spine's going to shoot out your ass. Like there's all sorts of crazy ideas that just really aren't supported by the research that we have right now.
Whole bunch of things. In terms of like training needs, I know a lot of people who have gone into physical therapy, and yeah, it changes like how the schedule works, but I feel like as long as my time management can maintain itself and I can make a good schedule where I can plan around these events like school and classes and work and all of those things, as long as I can do that, I think I'll honestly be fine. A super nice thing is that for the most part, payments for coaching and like my gym and things like that is handled. I'm sponsored by you guys, which is super nice of you guys. Again, thank you so much. But so I don't have to worry about churning out money for that. So I can focus on paying for things for school and stuff like that. And it's super helpful in terms of me being able to maintain my work ethic and maintain the energy and discipline I put into powerlifting once I enter into college.
Yeah, he's right. It's kind of just about finding the right balance of everything. There's, if it matters to you, you'll find time for it. And as long as you can work around the schedule that you have, I mean, it'll work. And it's a big stress reliever to not have to worry about a lot of the different financial things, like he said about staying at home, not having to pay for coaching because he's super, super strong. I think that's all great stuff.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Adam, where do you see the needs when it comes to junior lifters that are quite competitive to support both their education or work and the competitions?
Obviously, on top of their education, moving forward in creating careers for themselves is priority. So I've worked with several junior and sub-junior athletes where they're currently going through university or high school. They'll have exams and studying for exams. During those periods, we're looking to reduce some of that training and maybe changing some of the protocols so they're not feeling so much mental fatigue as well, so they can actually focus a bit better.
Yeah, I often tell my athletes the same thing. Like even around exams, we may even preemptively reduce the workload, just especially if we know that it's going to be a very busy exam schedule. We might plan for a pivot to occur during that week or another low stress week just to prevent having those two kind of demanding tasks of learning something and training really heavy. Avoid having them kind of butt heads and compete for the same recovery resources, because at some point like push is going to come to shove and recovery is going to spill over and it's going to cause some problems. So I think preemptively changing some things or even just being aware that you may have to reduce the weight on the bar for some of the sessions, or speed through some workouts a little bit more just to focus on what is actually a priority, which is getting through school and doing well in exams. I think that's a good thing to be aware of. The only other thing that I've done for some lifters is reduce the central stress, like manage certain protocols so that they are doing less like very heavy work. So central stress, you could think of it as kind of like intensity. So something that's like a single at RPE 8 is going to be highly centrally stressful compared to like a set of 10 at RPE 6 that's going to be a lot more peripherally stressful to like the muscles as opposed to your central nervous system. So studying is very cognitively demanding. That's centrally stressful. If you have a lot of very heavy training, that can also be centrally stressful. So having the two compete directly like that is can be a bad idea. And if you are able to change the protocols to do less training that is very heavy and centrally stressful, it can improve the experience for the lifters a lot of the time. That's actually where I want to leave things for today. I looked ahead a little bit, and the rest of the podcast is still very interesting. It's just different than what I've been talking about, and I don't want to make this super, super long and just talk over the entire podcast, of course. So I'll leave it there. The main takeaway that I want you to have from this is, like as always, kind of continue to collect information, continue to solve the problem that is in front of you, and do so by communicating with your coach or by communicating with your lifter. And if you guys have any suggestions or things that you want us to tackle in future videos, let us know in the comments below. But until next time, I've been Kenny with Reactive Training Systems, and we'll see you guys next time.